There are many people in the world who show miracles, yes, and you see how people get attracted to those miracles, and then there's a crowd which goes and visits those people who show these temporary miracles. And how do people perform miracles? Have you ever wondered that somebody is able to just read somebody's mind and tell what's going on? Or, somebody is just able to tell somebody's past, or somebody is just able to tell somebody's future. And these are some kinds of miracles. Or, you're able to bend a spoon with your drishti, or you're able to just emerge some ash from the air. So these are the kinds of miracles that gain a lot of popularity. But Baba tells us the secret behind these miracles. And Baba tells us that, you see, there is a law about the way souls come and play their parts on this stage called the earth, or in this corporeal world. And not everybody comes at the same time. And you see the human population, it keeps increasing, because when a soul who comes from the soul world in the beginning, they don't go back. So every time a soul comes, so when a soul descends on the stage from the soul world, after that the soul can only go back at the end of the cycle. So once you come, you keep taking rebirths, right? And until Baba comes, you can't go back. So the souls are continuously coming, and each one that comes down, they have to keep taking rebirth and keep continuing here. But the population is increasing, it's not constant. So it's not like souls are only taking rebirth, but it's a fact that new souls are coming from the soul world every day. And you see that the law says, the spiritual law is that every soul who is in the soul world has to play a part. It could be the part of 84 births, 83, 82 until 1. But 1 is the minimum number of births you take, and 84 is the maximum you take. So there are souls who have 84 births recorded as their part, and they come down in the beginning. And then gradually those who have 83, 82, they keep coming and joining. And then the last ones to come have the least part. So somebody who has a part of 1 birth, 2 birth, 3 births, they come at the end. Now Baba tells us that when a soul comes for the first time, then the soul is pure. Just like you see, when we are in Satyug, we are pure, right? So when we are pure, so do you see the power the soul has when it is pure? It is so powerful that you can drive the Pushpak Viman with your thought. And you can have, the whole nature, the 5 elements of nature at your service, and they follow your orders just by a command of thought. And you are so pure, you are so powerful. And Baba tells us that just think about the kind of purity you have in Satyug and the kind of power you have in Satyug. Why is that purity, that power there? Because that's our first birth. And of course, the quality of the souls who are deity souls is, higher. So obviously, the purity is also not comparable to purity of the soul that comes down last. But anyways, it is purity and the power of purity. Now you see, in the end, when we reach the end of the cycle, there are still souls who are coming down from the soul world for the first time. And when those souls come down, they have the power of purity, because they have come for the first time and they are in their sato stage, they are in their pure stage, and purity has power. So they are able to show these limited miracles. Yes, that's the power of purity. So they are able to, do something with the nature. So you see, a plant is an object of nature, and they are able to germinate. So there was this magician who could just keep looking at the seed and make the seed germinate into a plant. So these kinds of miracles you can do with Prakriti, or bend a spoon, or just give drishti and make something stop or something move, and or you can read somebody's mind, tell somebody's past. So these are the things that some souls are capable of doing, because that's the first birth and also the part of the soul. Not like every soul in its first birth can do these things. But A, the soul is Sato Pradhan, and B, that is the part of the soul. So then the soul is able to do that. But Baba tells us that these miracles, these limited miracles, won't last very long. Why? Because you see, the law says that every soul has to perform the journey from Sato to Rajo to Tamo. Okay, and this journey, how much time did we take to complete this journey? We took 84 births to change from Sato to Rajo to Tamo. So that change in us was very, very gradual. It was very gradual. So there was almost, consistency through many births. So you see that although we degraded, but in Satyug and Treta Yuga, we are almost pure for 2 yugas. Why? Because since the degradation is so gradual, so that's why, there is a consistency in one birth, or through across, 5, 10 births also you see that there is a pattern, and you can see that the soul is more or less consistent. But just think about the soul who comes at the end and there's just one birth. And in that one birth, the soul has to perform that journey from Sato to Rajo to Tamo. Right? Now just think about you witnessing a soul going through its Sato, Rajo, Tamo state in one birth. What would it look like? It would look like this soul had so much power yesterday and tomorrow they are in jail because they did something very, very wrong. Now it makes it baffles people. How is this possible? So you see, there was this, I will tell you, there was this one issue in India where there was a sadhu, and he had a lot of, he had miraculous powers, and then people thronged to his satsang and he had great following, and then after many years he ended up being in jail. And then there was a colleague of mine, and she was his follower. And you know what the office colleagues did? They just taunted her day and night, and they just said, you see, your sadhu is a thug and a thief and this and that. And because she was pretty vocal about the guru she follows. And then she got very upset, and one day she came to me, although I and she didn't talk much earlier, but then she came to me and she cried a lot, and she told me, I want you to support me in this. So I said, what kind of support do you want? So she said, you should tell that, this is wrong and you shouldn't be doing this and that. So I said, but first tell me, what do you think about the whole situation? What do you think actually happened? So she said, I don't know what happened, but when I visited that sadhu many years ago and when I became his follower, he had miraculous powers and I could see miracles in many things he did. And that is what drew me to him. And I don't know what the world is saying today. I don't know what happened, but I cannot take the brunt of all this. So I then told her this secret that Baba explains to us, and I told her how, a soul who comes in the first birth, they perform their journey in one birth from Sato to Rajo to Tamo, and then you see a lot of, a discrepancy in their previous fame and how they are today, and it makes you really not believe your eyes when you see that this soul who had so much power and everybody saw their miracles, and today how they have turned into a thug and how they are doing these things. But this is the secret that Baba teaches us. And then I made her do the course. Then I explained to her all the laws about how we take birth, and how there's a difference between the journey of every soul, and I gave her the course about that. And after that I told her, do you expect anybody who doesn't have the knowledge to understand all this? So she said no. So I said, you see, if somebody doesn't understand something, then obviously they behave in a manner that somebody who doesn't understand would. So you just stay calm and give good wishes, and whatever anybody says, don't mind it. Just know that they don't know, so they will speak like that. And you know now, so this is what is going on actually. And spiritual laws are very difficult to explain to people, in one go or something. So they don't understand that. And what apparently looks like, somebody deceived you, or this happened or that happened, but that's the journey of the soul. So when I explained this to her, after that, she had a lot of peace of mind. And then she went through that whole episode and she was fine with it. And then she started remembering Baba and she drew power from Baba also. So this is the thing that Baba tells us. And Baba says that these limited miracles happen because that soul is a first timer and they are in their Sato Pradhan stage. So the pure power of purity reveals itself. And so you should never be impressed by these things. Yes, because you are never impressed by a magic which you can decode. Are you ever impressed by a magic which you can understand how it's done? You are never impressed by that kind of a magic. So you now know how that magic is happening, because the soul is in the Sato Pradhan stage, and any soul who comes for the first time will have power. So you are neither impressed by it nor can you copy it. Nobody can copy it, because that's the part of that soul at this time, not yours. But what you can do is, Baba says, everybody calls Baba Jadugar. Yes, so Baba is the biggest magician and we are his children. So we should be able to perform bigger miracles. Yes, and what is the miracle that we perform? So the biggest miracle that you can perform is you can sit in soul consciousness, and with your drishti, you can give every soul around you the experience of soul consciousness. And when the soul experiences the stage of soul consciousness, then they realize that I am a fortunate star. So I am a very fortunate soul, and you can make every soul have that experience and make every soul have the experience of being close to Baba. Can you do that? Yes, you can do it through your drishti, you can do it through your words, and you see in the center, even when people come and they don't know what is going on or what is the gyan or anything, when they come, they say, we experience something extraordinary. We experience extraordinary peace, faith, confidence, power when we come here. And that's what you can do, and that is a very big miracle, because you see that this miracle is not for a short time. You take the memory of that miracle, and the more you keep recreating it, it will change into a permanent state and sanskar. So Baba says, this is your miracle. And I will tell you a very real incident where Janki Dadiji and one person called Uri Geller, they were sharing the stage, and Uri Geller was supposed to be a magician, was famous, was a famous magician, and there was Dadi Janki, and both. So first Uri Geller showed his magic, and I think what he did was he looked at a seed and made it sprout. So that is what he did. And after that, everybody was just waiting what Dadi Janki would do. Because we say that we are direct children of God. So obviously everybody was looking forward to what the direct children of God can do. And then Dadi very calmly, she said, okay, let's have some meditation music. And then she sat in Baba's remembrance and gave drishti to the whole hall. And every soul present there could feel, that sparkling star in the center of the forehead, and could feel the, waves of peace and purity in every, in every inch of their body. And that was an experience that they took home with themselves, and maybe many of them continued their journey. So Baba says, you can show this miracle, and this miracle can actually open the doors to imperishable fortune. Of course, the soul has to work for it. It doesn't come only through the through the nimit soul, but this can open the door to imperishable fortune. And then you see, there is this also this one thing that you need to understand, that the miracles that people show in the world are pretty useless. Because what if somebody told you your past? Don't you know your past? Why is it? And see, if they tell you about a distant past which you don't know, you don't count that as a miracle, do you? Because you don't have faith. So what do you count as a miracle? That which he tells you and you know. So how is that a miracle? So what is the benefit out of it? You know it and they tell you that. So what benefit do you get? Or if somebody tells you what's going in your own mind, you are trying to avoid your own mind and your own thoughts by distracting yourself all day, and somebody else is going to tell you what's going on in your mind. What use is it? Why do you want to listen to that rubbish which you are anyways telling yourself to avoid? Or so these are the things. Or somebody bent a spoon or made a tree sprout. So what is the big deal? That seed would have sprouted anyway. Yes, water could do it, earth could do it? Why did a person have to spend spiritual energy on it? So that's the thing. And let me tell you something about Ramakrishna Paramhans. So, Ramakrishna Paramhans had a disciple, and that disciple once came running to Ramakrishna Paramhans and he said that, you don't know, I have mastered a miracle and you will be very happy to hear it and see it. So he said, okay, tell me. So that disciple said, no, you will be so amazed that I can't tell you, and you should just wait to see it. So he said, okay, take me and show me what you have learned. So he said, I spent so many years. So that disciple had been away for many years. And he said, after all that tapasya, I have learned to walk on water. And let me show you that I came here walking on water. And he walked on water and showed Ramakrishna Paramhans. And then Ramakrishna Paramhans said, why did you have to waste so many years of your life learning to walk on water? You could pay 10 cents to the boatman and come by waterway. So why do you have to spend so much of your tapasya and your spiritual energy in learning something that can happen in 10 cents? Yes, so that which only takes 10 cents, why do you have to spend so much of energy and time and spiritual effort to learn that? So this is what we need to understand, that Baba tells us, do tapasya to become the embodiment of a power which actually makes the soul worthy. Yes, which actually adds value to a soul. Don't waste it on, controlling nature like this, because commanding nature is not a problem anymore. Science is doing that very well. Human beings are able to control nature or, do these things very easily with science and technology. In fact, we need to do that less because we need to have a loving relationship with the 5 elements of nature rather than a controlling relationship. And Baba says, if you are in your soul power, nature will anyways work in your favor. Nature is always happy to serve you. Just know this, nature, the 5 elements of nature are always happy to serve you. They don't want to not serve you. They don't want to harm you. That's not the quality of nature. But since you are not in your power, they are also not in their, in that serving attitude. So you have to be in your soul conscious stage, and you don't have to look at one thing or the other and make it work, but all the 5 elements of nature will work in your favor. And you see, there is the description of an episode in Bhagavad where they say that when Shri Krishna was being carried as a child, yes, in a tokri, and he was being carried across the ocean or river or whatever. At that time, the river was just swelling up, and it was so furious, and it looked like, why is this river welling up? And at that time, the river was trying to touch the feet of Shri Krishna. And as soon as Krishna takes out his feet and the river touches it, it calms down. So these are some episodes which are described, although it's not like Shri Krishna will be carried in a tokri or something in Satyug, but these are the episodes which are written in bhakti, and they are a depiction of this symbolic meaning that when you are in your Satopradhan stage, then nature feels that it is blessed to touch your feet. So nature also feels blessed to serve you. So Baba says that the biggest miracle is you stay like a soul conscious sparkling star always, and you give the inspiration to be soul conscious to other souls by giving them a momentary experience of soul consciousness through your soul conscious stage of Baba's remembrance. So, this is the thing. And let me tell you also one thing in this regard, that these days we think about so many examples and so many things to make somebody understand Gyan. But in Baba's time, there was no 7 days course, there was no course book, there was nothing. And whoever came, they sat for Baba's Murli directly. And how did they understand Baba's Murli directly? Because of the drishti that Baba had. And it was the soul conscious and the knowledgeful state of Brahma Baba which made everybody stabilize in their knowledgeful stage very easily. So you see, if you are soul conscious and if you are in yoga with Baba, and Baba is the ocean of knowledge, peace, purity, love, then you can also make another soul stabilize in their knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful state just by being yourself. So that's the power of soul consciousness. Then there is, I don't know, in the English Murli, it has been translated very simply, but in the Hindi Murli, it is said, in this world, it is Andher Nagri Chaupat Raja, Take Sir Bhaji, Take Sir Khaja. And in the English Murli, it is just translated as, this is a city of darkness. But what it means is, Baba says that in this world, Andher Nagri, it is a city of darkness, and Chaupat Raja, the king is a fool, and then in a kingdom where the king is a fool, what happens is the cashews and the vegetables are sold at the same price. So that's the situation in a kingdom where the fool rules. And if you look at the world today, any part of the world, this is the situation today. And there is this stupid concept of equality which is very prevalent, and then people today call it fashionably equity, and there is very little difference between equality and equity because the approach is different, but the aim is equality. So you want everybody to be equal. So earlier you said that everybody should have equal opportunities, but now you say that you give them opportunities in proportion to their inequality. So let's say I'm 50% rich, so give me 50% subsidy, and somebody is 100% poor, so give them 100% subsidy. But again, the aim is to bring equality. But Baba says the world is not created equal, and there is no need for equality. Is there a need for equality? So Baba says, if you sold cashews and vegetables at the same price, does that help? No. So you see, cashews, if you eat cashews like vegetables, would that be nice? Cook cashews 3 times a day and eat. They would destroy your health. So Baba says, that's not how it should be. And we are not designed like that. And we are all different. And you see, we can either be equal or we can be unique. Yes, you cannot be equal and unique. So if you're unique, you cannot be like anybody else. And the beauty of this world is everything and everyone is unique. So no two vegetables are the same, no two fruits are the same. There is no comparison between fruits, vegetables and other stuff. There is no comparison between earth and water. What if earth, water and fire became the same? Would that help? Can you cook food on water? You cannot do that. So Baba says everybody is different, and that's the beauty of this creation. Every soul is different, and you have to understand who am I, and you have to understand who is the other soul, and you have to understand in this world, Baba says, there is the supreme soul, there are the deity souls, there are the prophet souls, there are the great souls, Mahatmas, and then there are the other souls. And every soul has a distinct part in the drama. And you don't need to compare between each other. You don't need to feel less or greater than each other. And you are who you are, and you are important as you are. You don't need to become somebody else to be important. And you don't need to have something that the other has to be important. Yes, so I'm beautiful in my white sari, somebody is beautiful in their red sari, somebody is beautiful in their green sari, and it's fine. So Baba says that this is the way it is designed to be. And what we have to learn is learning to understand that we are all different and learning to respect everybody for who they are. But instead of learning how to respect everybody as they are, we are just trying to make everybody like everybody else. And that's not working clearly. So Baba says, and you see that in religion, there is this very fancy idea that everybody is God, and then you see every prophet soul is God, every impure soul is God, every God is God, and every deity soul is God, and everybody is God. But Baba says, no, everybody is not God, and they shouldn't be. God is one, and you should know that God, and there is no benefit in this foolish concept of everybody is God. What benefit has it given you? So Baba says knowing God as God is beneficial, because God, when you know God, that this is God, then you remember Him and you listen to Him and you become like Him. So that's the method. But if you keep saying on the basis of equality, you see, or there's this strange sense of respect also, that when you want to show your respect, you say, okay, so your belief is as important as my belief, and your belief is the same as my belief. No, your belief is different from my belief, but your belief is your belief, important for you. My belief is my belief, important for me. But the thing is that when you start saying, no, we are the same thing and the same belief and the same everything, then the problem arises. So Baba says that no, we are not the same. Deity souls have to do their work. God has to do His work. Prophet souls are doing their work. And every soul has to play a different part. And we are not equal. We can never be equal. We were never equal. And we have to learn to embrace our uniqueness and learn to embrace the uniqueness of everyone else and learn to have mutual respect for each other. So that's the thing we need to learn. So this is what Baba says today. And then in the whole Murli, Baba is talking about becoming a beggar, which is, completely becoming free from all sense of I and my now, so that we can go back to the soul world and then become a prince, because the law is beggar to prince. And Baba also talks about the accuracy and the identical repetition of the drama. And Baba says, just like a swastik, where you create 4 equal quarters. So this drama is also identically divided between 4 yugas, and 5th yuga is the confluence age, and I, the soul, am in the confluence age now, and I have to focus on going to the new world, shedding the old, embracing the new, cleaning myself of all that I have carried in the last 63 births, freeing myself from that burden, and then creating the virtues and the systems and customs that we need in the new world. So, this is Baba's Murli today. Go through it very diligently. Om Shanti.